The tape's rolling.
Oh man. Anyway, welcome to this week's broadcast.
We're your anchors,
Hunter and
Lexi.
It's Friday the 20th. Let's get this broadcast started.
A couple little birdies told me that there was a guest speaker.
And who are those little birdies?
John, James, and Tyler.
Well, let's fly right into that.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and today we're going to be checking out guest speaker in Miss Morrell and Miss Davies' classroom. Let's peep this out. In this class, they were talking about the history of the honor guard and what it means to serve your fallen brothers.
What was the presentation about?
The presentation was about this guy and how he worked his way through the different army stages and he got to where he wanted to be, and with that he became the best even through the different stuff that he had to go through, and he got the award for it.
What was your favorite part and why?
My favorite part was when he was explaining how he had to walk the rubber part of the tomb, because it was almost a funny part of it, just because he was talking about how sometimes like he has to keep a still face, he has to always be looking forward, and then sometimes like bees fly on you or something, or squirrels jump up your leg and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool because you just gotta stay still.
This is a presentation talking about a cemetery that was used during the Civil War. This was used because the family of the veterans that died did not have enough money. It was also used for people that were unidentified after they died. I'm Tyler, thanks for watching. Back to you, Acres.
It's so funny.
Birdie, fly into the clip. Ha!
Oh goodness, you silly goose.
On a serious note,
You can't be serious. Do you see that picture that you put up?
you're completely right. But on a serious note, have you heard about the spring play?
Of course, haven't you?
I'm the one who started this conversation. McKenzie, Cat, and Maddy Squared are doing a commercial on it.
Roll the tape.
Not literally.
Have you ever wanted to watch a play but haven't had the opportunity to? Well, now you can. Skyview has a spring play coming to theaters near you. Skyview's spring play is called The Princess King, and it's about a princess who wishes to be able to rule her kingdom without a king, but she is denied of this request. To prove her worth, she enters a competition dressed as a prince.
Hi, I'm Ellen DeGeneres. You should come and see The Princess King. It changed my life, and it'll change yours.
Hi, I'm Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You should go see The Princess King on April 27th and 28th. It's gonna be really funny.
The Princess King is Friday, April 27th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, April 28th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. It's $2 for students and seniors and $3 for everyone else. See you there!
What's so funny?
Tape, roll the tape.
Oh my goodness, you silly goose. We are so funny.
Want to see a magic trick?
I'd love to. Whoa, how did you do that?
Magician never tells its secret.
Seriously? Whatever.
Want to see another one?
Yeah. That was so cool. And thanks to Mason and Joey to making it all happen.
I want to be a potato sometime.
That was random, but I want to be a unicorn.
I hear a segment coming on.
What are we waiting for?
I don't know.
Then roll the clip already.
Hey there, it's Niall, Chase here, and today I'm instead of wild unicorn, I just see a wild unicorn right there. Let's go get it. It's a very rare species.
I suppose.
look at the beautiful unicorn. I cannot figure out a way to get across this river. Let's go try.
I'm Vichos the unicorn. What are you doing here?
I'm just here to discover you and your species.
Attack!
No, please don't. I'm just here. No, no! Ah! I'm just here to explain myself. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm here to discover you.
Long ago, there was a prophecy that one day one man would come to save our people. I believe you are the chosen. Come on, let's have.
Wow, I'm the king. This is awesome!
Jake, Allie, Chase, and McKayla, thanks for doing that segment for us.
I was going to make myself a bell out of watches, but I realized it was a waste of time.
What are you doing?
Stand-up comedy?
Do you know what stand-up comedy is?
Of course, I'm great at it.
Okay then, but just leave the jokes to Austin and Aaliyah with their stand-up comedy segment.
Whatever.
What's up, Skyview? Tonight we're having a special performance by Olivia and Austin Fox. They're going to be doing stand-up comedy, but we shouldn't call it comedy because it's not funny. Anyways, let's jump right into it.
Hey Skyview, I'm Olivia. The weather has been changing lately, and even though they say it's spring, every girl knows that it's not actually spring, because ladies have like a sense of when the weather actually changes. We'll just be sitting on the couch watching Ellen eating a bag of Smart popcorn. You'll feel the first bunny pop out of the hole and screech that spring. We'll call our friends and be like, Jessica, did you just feel that? Guys, they wouldn't know anything about the weather, mostly because they are inside playing Fortnite. And girls have a problem with guys playing Fortnite until they actually try the game and find out that it's relatively fun. And even then, they don't want their boyfriend playing the game because they're so bad at it. And we have that mentality of, if we can't be happy, then you can't be happy. And guys, I know what you're thinking. Girls are so dramatic, bro. But in all honesty, you're just as dramatic as girls. You're on the Xbox talking to your friends playing Fortnite, just be like, bro, Jessica is so dramatic. Oh my god, dude, look north, they're over north. Oh, did you get them? Okay, good. Alright, anyways, as I was saying, Jessica is so dramatic. She called me when I was playing Fortnite, and I answered because I didn't want to blow her off. But then she blows me off to call her friend about the weather. Like, wasn't it spring last week? You have gossip time in your Call of Duty parties with random people on the internet, but you don't call it gossip. No, that's too girly. You call it your girl problems to try and point the drama at us, when really you like talking about your problems to people on the internet because nobody understands.
Hi, I'm Austin. I'll tell you a little bit about my life. I live in the back of my mom's minivan. Yeah, and I'm like so short that's like an actual house. Like I have a kitchen, TV room with my Xbox. I play Fortnite with my mini fridge. You know, it's the life. I play Fortnite on the weekdays and on the weekends I work at GameStop. But sometimes people mistake me as the boss's son. Yeah. It's probably because I can't see over the counter, but that's okay. And like a lot of people ask me when I'm there, how's the weather down there? I'm like, yeah, it's the same as up there. One time, there was this girl named Betty Timothy, and we went on a date. And at first, she made fun of my height, because her probably my Pinterest bio, I'm 6'2", like 4'9". But when I asked if she likes Bakugans, she literally walked out in laughter, and I was kind of embarrassed. 4 and 9, I shouldn't be able to act like a child, right? I mean, what's so bad about Bakugans? Like, she didn't even eat my homemade ravioli I found from her Pinterest page. Like, I put in some effort here, and she just walked out. Thanks, Skyview.
Let's give it up for Austin and Aaliyah.
Why are you on your phone? You have an essay, 37 math problems, 68 pages to read, and 15 book blogs. Procrastinating segment.
By Bryson and Madeline. We're such procrastinators.
You said it. Roll the clip.
Hey Maddy, what are you doing?
I was doing homework, but I got distracted.
Why?
Because homework isn't fun.
Do you procrastinate a lot?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, here are 5 reasons why people procrastinate.
Procrastinating is a delay or postpone or to put off doing something. An example is when you have a big project and you wait till the last second.
People are too busy playing Fortnite.
What are you doing, Bryson?
Playing Fortnite?
You should start your homework.
Not right now. After I play this game. 2 hours later.
Gun!
They don't feel like doing it.
This is so boring.
Me from when I was 9 years old to me now.
So what you're saying is nothing much has changed.
They forgot they had homework.
Bryson, do you have any homework?
No.
Okay. You better not.
Okay.
Later that night. They don't want to do it.
I hate homework. Me too. I don't want to do it.
Me either, but I mean...
Well, I gotta go home, so I'll talk to you later.
Okay. The next day.
Bryson, can I have your homework?
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice job.
Maddy, can I have your homework?
I didn't do it.
Okay, that's your fault. The lack of understanding. I don't understand this.
Oh, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna like cross this and then multiply it and then you add it and then you get your answer.
Okay, thank you. What? I don't understand. I don't understand. Well, that was 5 main reasons why people procrastinate.
I hope you guys learned something from that and make sure you guys do your homework.
He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me.
What are you talking about?
I'm getting ready for my audition.
For what?
The movie.
Well, good luck with that.
Today we are going to review 3 movies. These movies are Jumanji,
Black Panther, and Ready Player One. Okay. The first movie we will be reviewing is Black Panther. This is a movie about the origins and adventures of Black Panther and his rise to fame. Black Panther's first appearance was in a movie, Captain America's Civil War, when he fought beside Captain America against Iron Man. In Black Panther, there is a common enemy of the people of Wakanda. He is known as Eric Killmonger, who enters as a relative of the king's uncle. This starts an adventure of who will take the Wakandan crown. I completely recommend this awesome Marvel movie. It's a dramatic action movie from the great Marvel creators. This movie really was an amazing start to the new Marvel series.
This movie by far is one of my favorite Marvel movies. At the end of the movie, the final battle is one of my favorite scenes because it shows both members of royalty fighting to be king.
This movie shows confidence in how to lead up to your expectations. I recommend this movie because it is funny, emotional, and action in one. It is fantastic. It is a fantastic movie that I really enjoyed watching, but most of all, a great movie to watch with you and your family. Have you ever been stuck in a game? Well, that's exactly what happened in the movie Jumanji. 4 people get sucked into the game and become the avatars that they chose before starting the game. They meet many troubles along the way to the end of the game. Like in most video games, they only have 3 lives to live.
and they go through many torturous journeys. And this movie because it is a comedy movie and it talks about video games that some kids are into. Also, it talks about a very non-realistic thing that happens in the movie. It is very adventurous and exciting. I'd advise you to watch this movie to have some fun and see some action.
I recommend this movie because it is hilarious. This is a great movie. In the movie, there is one of my favorite comedic actors, Jack Black.
I would recommend this movie because of the comedy mixed in with the movie. The plot of the movie really mixes present day with the original Jumanji. Ready Player One is a movie about a dystopian future of living in a virtual world. Everyone does everything in this perfect place called the Oasis. It becomes popular when the rig was only selling for a quarter. The rig is similar to a VR headset, but more things can be bought to make the experience more lively. The creator, James Halliday, dies and releases an Easter egg inside the game. The winner of this egg will receive trillions of dollars and complete control of the Oasis. I would recommend this movie because of Wade's conflict as he tries to find the egg. An organization called the IOI, nicknamed the Sixers, tries everything they can to stop Wade from getting the Easter egg. They even resort to extreme measures.
To be honest, I've only seen the trailers, but I hear it's a great movie. From all the cool stuff that happens in the short clips, I feel it's going to be an awesome movie.
This movie is very entertaining and I only watched a trailer of it, but it's so soothing. And I recommend this movie because it is a great movie to watch with your friends and family.
If you're anyone who is looking for action, drama, or suspense, these movies are for you.
All in all, these are really good movies.
And if you want to have fun with your friends and watching a whole bunch of movies,
then we recommend these ones. Yes, just get up.
I love Jumanji and I really want to see the other movies now.
I swear, we're twins, because I was thinking the same thing.
What am I thinking?
Chocolate.
You're right.
What am I thinking of?
Pineapples.
You're right.
We are twins.
Welcome back to Skyview News.
We have a very interesting story this week.
That is true. When I heard it, I started getting teary.
This person is a strong, beautiful, wonderful teacher. We get to find out more about the story with Blake, Conrad, and Connor.
Let's get this Eagles on 3 rolling.
On April 16th, 2016, Miss Penny's sister Annette was in an earthquake while she was in Ecuador. Miss Penny teaches 6th grade science for the iPad team.
My sister is in Ecuador. She was in between her getting her first degree and going to get her master's, and she was leading a bunch of students in Spanish, and they were helping with reforestation in the Ecuadorian forests, trying to provide better homes and availability of forestation for all the locals there. So I was at a memorial for my grandmother, and I got a text message from my sister. She was in Ecuador, and it said specifically, "Hi, there was a big earthquake here an hour ago. Everyone is fine. We are currently moving inland and upwards just to be safe." So that's how I found out about the earthquake in Ecuador. Okay, to find out my sister was okay after the first text message, we checked WhatsApp and text messaging and Facebook, and eventually we saw her check in as safe on the Facebook check-in for the earthquake in Ecuador.
Miss Penny was scared for Annette. She didn't have any details or know what conditions her sister was in.
Well, my sister's a rock star, and this earthquake made me feel worried, but it also made me so proud of how she handled it. She was in charge of a big group of college kids, and they were traveling through Ecuador, and she got them to the airport so they could get out after the big earthquake, and she just blew my mind with how awesome and amazing she is. So when the earthquake first happened, she was in Puerto Lopez, and then she traveled to Guayaquil to get to the airport and send her group of students back to America. And then she eventually, a few days later, was able to get back to Bahia, which is where she was working out of. But it took a while to get back there because the roads were all blocked by everything from the earthquake.
Miss Penny began to hear more and more about the earthquake on the news. She was able to see her sister check in on Facebook, which made her feel better.
After the aftermath of the earthquake, the first few days, she had to try and get around without any transportation and try and find a way back to the city she was teaching in Bahia. And she eventually got back on a motorbike. She had to cope with a lot of things: no food, no water. She didn't know where the rest of the leaders from her organization, the teachers, she didn't know where they were for a while because they couldn't get connected. And when she got back, she had to deal with all of the destruction in the town and seeing everybody without housing and without food and without water. So I'm a worrywart. So coping with this, having my sister in another country while a huge earthquake happens, of course, got my brain on high alert. But the best thing is I know how amazing she is at taking care of herself, and I kept in touch with her as much as possible through text and WhatsApp and some messages on Facebook, and just talked to her, let her know she was safe, and that made me feel better.
Miss Penny soon received a video of Annette driving through the aftermath. She drove by collapsed buildings, injured people, and cracked roads.
I do have some details. Eventually she sent a video of the whole town that she's from in Bahia and how it was actually destroyed, the parts of it that were destroyed by the earthquake. She shared a video. She talked to us about how it felt. It was about 30 seconds of really intense shaking, and then there were over 250 aftershocks after that moment in the first few days. And as of today, the report says there were 1,034 aftershocks in the first month after that. So she did a lot of sleeping underneath tables and trying to make sure she was in places where she could find food and water to survive.
Miss Penny kept getting updates from her sister. She was going to Panama because Ecuador was too dangerous to be in while the aftermath was being cleaned up.
So my sister was in Ecuador for a few months, working there and leading these reforestation classes in Spanish and helping college students learn how to be better environmentalists. And because of the earthquake, she got transferred to Panama for a few months because that's where they transferred all the rest of those kids in the college program. And so she ended up leading those groups in Panama for a while and returned back to Ecuador at the end of her time to get to walk around and see everywhere she used to live and get to know them and travel before she came back home. So after the earthquake initially happened, my sister had to do a lot of work to avoid going to dangerous places. There were signs all over the place from the government, and then a lot of buildings were marked with big X's that she needed to avoid in case of more falling objects or buildings.
Annette eventually returned home without any injuries. Miss Penny was relieved that Annette was unharmed and alive.
I have an announcement. What's your announcement? It's time for Skyview announcements by Mason and Joey. Perfect timing. Roll the clip. Wait. What? Remember? Oh, yeah! Don't forget the sports reports.
All library books are due on May 3rd. Attention 7th graders. Web is now recruiting for next year's web leaders. You can get an application from your Reach teacher or outside room 116. Make sure you turn in your application to Miss Ann Georgie in room 116 or Miss Logsden in room 110 by today. Beginning guitar classes is offered for all 8th grade students next year. This will be a year-long class, and students will need to have an acoustic guitar to participate. All students are welcome, regardless of their ability, but this is the beginning of a class. Please see Miss Almazan or Miss Rauer to sign up for the class. April showers bring superpowers? Don't forget the spring dance today from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. in the small gym. Tickets will be sold at lunch starting at Bring Your Superpowers and Your Super Dance Moves.
We have such a talented school.
Yes, we do. But do you know what the sports reports mean?
Yeah, sadly.
Can you tell me? Because I honestly don't know.
It's the end of this week's broadcast.
Sadly, but roll the credits by Mason Joy. Bye guys, see you next week.
Bye.